Hello, welcome, Philippine Bible Ministries from the Philippines. We're in the spare room right now. Just finished downloading the sermon from yesterday, and just hit me about desperate people. Desperate people is who God calls, and He usually calls people that are desperate. Not too many rich, not too many wealthy, not too many happy, joyous people come to Jesus because life is full of trials and tribulations, and life is hard. It's usually through the hard times that the people are ready. They're ready to surrender. Because being a believer is not just about a prayer, it's not just about a thought. It's not just about like, I believe that Jesus died for my sins. That's part of it. But also almost all the verses that talk about how you're saved says he must be your Lord. And the key word there is surrender. Only desperate people surrender. Only desperate people surrender. What does that mean? Like you're drowning, right? and and someone comes out to save you, and you're hanging on to something that's sinking, and they say you have to surrender to me because I'm the only one that can save you, and you have to not fight me, because if you're trying to save someone that's drowning as a lifeguard or somebody, and they fight you, you're both going to go down. Of course, God wouldn't go down, but the idea is you have to surrender. So you have to be in a place, right? So God calls us to that place. That's where I was when I got saved. I was in a place of desperation, and I needed his touch. I needed the love of God to change my heart. And Jesus knows about that. Jesus suffered. He's not unaware of suffering. He became a man so he could suffer everything we do, but he didn't sin. But he still suffered pain and sorrow, and he had stomach aches. He had everything we go through. He went through as a human. He suffered heartache. He wept. He went through all this stuff, and at the end, he suffered on the cross. Now, I know I have someone in my family who said, yeah, well, that was easy for him because he was God. Yeah, but he was also man, and it wasn't easy at all. The hardest part was the separation from God. But he suffered for us, and he says, deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me. You have the mind like Jesus. Why? So this is the sweetness of it, and it's a hardness of it that most people won't accept. So that in the sermon, I'll just close with this. I usually, because many of you won't watch the sermon because it's more than 5 minutes long, and it is that's the way it is. A lot of people don't have time for such things. But let me just close with this. The rich young ruler was not obedient. That's his only sin. It wasn't because he had so much stuff. That was his sin. I mean that was his idol. But he came to the Lord for a blessing. He sounded like he was a religious person. He sounded like he wanted to be holy. He wanted to follow God. He wanted eternal life. He said, well, I've already done these commandments and I'm following God. I'm a good guy. So what else can I do, Lord? How do I be sure that I have eternal life? Because that's what I want. And the Lord saw his heart. The Lord saw his heart and said, oh, you need to get rid of all your stuff and then follow me. The man wouldn't do it. He was disobedient. He went away and he wept. He didn't weep because he didn't have the Lord. He didn't weep because he loved God. He acted like he did. Oh, I'm not going to change my life for that. This is important. The stuff I have, I'm not going to give it up. And such it is for many of us. So I pray that you will be desperate someday. I pray that you will be in a place where you just need the Lord. You don't need money. You don't need stuff. You don't need to ask God for stuff anymore. Just for Him. That's all you really need is Him. Because all this stuff is going to burn up. It's all going to melt. It's all going to be gone one day. At the end of the day, when someone's on their deathbed, no one ever really says, "Gee, I wish I had more stuff." It's more like, how could I have loved others better? How could I have lived a better life? How could I have missed out on so much? And some people who come to the Lord on their deathbed say, "How could I miss so much love and so much?" I can't explain it to you because you're not desperate enough to accept it. But I just pray somebody is. Somebody watching this is desperate enough to say, you know what, Lord, I give it all up. I don't care about my house. I don't care about my stuff. I only have so much. There's only, as the new Charger coach says, there's so many sands in the hourglass. You only have so many days and minutes and moments left in your life. So what are you going to do? What are you going to live your life for, right? You're going to live it for yourself. You're going to hire somebody, a pastor or a missionary or evangelist, I don't know, whoever, some agency to do God's will when you can do it. God's called us all to something. So I just pray for desperate souls, those who come in mourning and weeping and desperation will have their hearts filled, will be full of joy. They will go out joyfully bringing in the sheaves, the harvest of new souls for the greatest joy ever. The greatest joy you could ever know is to be in the middle of his love. So, and his love is about bringing more people into the kingdom. I want us all to be in there. I want you all to come with us. So I just pray for you all today. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. Ta-ta for now.